When I was in kindergarten, I was afraid of school. Fear of leaving parents is a common thing among many young children, but mine was a different story. I was so attached to my parents that I was afraid of learning anything from someone other than my parents, including my kindergarten teacher. During the school day, I kept to me, myself, and I. I refused to participate in class discussions or talk to anybody, keeping the mindset that these few hours were a challenge I had to overcome before I could run home to my mother's arms and watch Power Rangers. One day our class was giving a coloring assignment. This was my favorite assignment to do because nobody ever nagged me or told me what to do. I could sit in my chair and color away while the other kids grouped together with their friends and talked and laughed as they colored. If you came into the room at that time, you might have felt sorry for lonely little Emil, but I didn't feel lonely at all. Instead, I felt safe from my scary teacher and safe from my classmates. I viewed all of my classmates with disgust because they all had friends. While I was coloring, I remember I needed something to color black. I looked in my inventory for a black crayon, and I picked out a violet and a black. Because the wax of each crayon looked like they were both black, I tested each out on scrap paper by drawing a scribble and examining what color it came out to be. The results showed that the one on my right hand was the black one. It was then that a student approached me and pointed out that the Crayola crayons, the ones I was using, have a label on the paper that says what color the crayon is. I simply denied that fact and completely ignored him. He said it again. I became nervous. My face burned with fear and anxiety. I continued my process of testing out colors by scribbling. Then another student approached me. The color is right here, they said, pointing to the label on the cover. I continued my scribbling technique, hands shaking and tears swelling up in my eyes. Other students approached me and asked why I would be using the scribbling technique instead of just reading the label. The pressure begins to build up, and a hot teardrop drops from my eyes and stains one of the scribbles on my scrap paper. "Are you crying?" one student asks. And that's when I lost it. I dropped my crayons from my trembling hands and cried my eyes out. I felt like I couldn't handle this challenge any longer. I wanted so badly to go home to my parents, away from the bad kids. I can't remember what happened next. I can't even remember when I stopped crying or how that day ended. That day, I felt like the whole class was out to get me. Today I realized that those two kids were only trying to teach me something. The kids who repeatedly asked me why I was crying weren't harassing me like I thought they were. They were just curious and didn't realize that their pressure was making things worse for me. I could have saved a lot of time if I had just read the labels, but I couldn't accept that fact because someone other than my parents had taught me it. Everyone knows something and no one knows everything. Through communication with others, we can share knowledge and experiences and learn from one another. I should have listened to those kids. I should have participated in class discussions and tried to make friends like the rest of my classmates. If I did, I might have actually gotten something out of kindergarten.